I've decided to do a combination video of these two smoke alarms that I recently got. I had a request to do them separately, but I'm trying something different. I'm going to do a combination of both of these, and I'm going to see how it goes, and if I like it, I'll do more combination videos in the future, but it's probably going to be pretty long, so get ready for a long video. Video. Anyway, on the left here we have a First Alert SA67D, and on the right is a BRK 86RAC. So, let me see, which one should I start with? I'll start with this one. So, this SA67D, it's a first generation SA67D, and that means that it has the thick ring around the cover here, and it also, the vents start in the center and they go all the way up rather than stopping a few centimeters back. These were made in, I think, the mid to late 80s, and they were very popular. They have a hinged cover as opposed to the SA86RAC platform, which had the cover that completely came off. And you know, I have one like this, and that one's right here. This is that one, but you notice the only difference is, notice the test buttons. That one's got your normal clear test button with a red LED behind it. This one has a white test button, and it does not have an LED behind it. There is no LED at all, because if there was, it would kind of be pointless. And what I find interesting about that is this is model number SA67D. You can see the label right there. Hang on, focus there. This one's model number SA76RD, but there are many that are also labeled SA67D. What I find interesting about that is this is not a different model number than this one. Well, I mean, in this case it is, but take a regular SA67D and another regular SA67D. This one that has the white test button is not any different than this one. Like, the model number is the exact same, and that's unusual because the SA76RAC or SA76RC had a version that also had a white test button. However, it was a different model number. It was the SA67. Same with the SA80FC. That one had the white button, which was the SA81. And even the SA120 had a white button counterpart known as the SA125. So it's very unusual that these are not different model numbers, and yet they have that white button feature that First Alert, for some reason, put on their detectors. So this is the large cover version as compared to the small cover version right here. This is the later one that was made in 1993 when they switched over to this design. Notice the difference. This ring is a fair bit thicker, as well as the vents, and on this one a couple are missing. So yeah, the bases, however, are the exact same size. You can mix and match covers if you really want to. But yeah. So this one came out of an abandoned house, so that's why it's all yellowed, much more yellow than this one. This one also came out of a house, but it was came out of a house for sale or something like that. This one was new in box, so it's like basically in mint condition. But you can clearly see abandoned house, used regularly, and mint in box. So this one had some problems when I got it. The horn was shot pretty much. If I open it up, hang on a second, you'll see here it has the normal horn without the 3 holes in the newer plastic sensor. There were some versions, some very rare versions, that have the sensor that looks kind of like this. That's the one that I call the false alarm sensor. Enland on YouTube actually has one with the white button and the false alarm sensor. So that's a very rare combination. I've yet to see one with an escape light and this sensor, though there probably are some out there. Although I'm not sure because I don't know when the escape light was introduced. I mean, actually it might be because the escape light was in the SA120. I don't know. But anyways, when I got it, the horn was in terrible shape. The piezoelectric element was basically gone. The this smoke alarm had been like it was a very damp location or something like that. You can see all the dirt in it. The piezoelectric element was just basically gone. So, and I actually have that right here. Here's the piezoelectric element that used to be in there. As you can see, there's supposed to be some gray silicone material on that trace and that trace. However, it's like gone. There's nothing there. And there's rust on this side of it, the element, and one of the little pieces of the hot glue that they put on it is missing. I happened to find that I had a broken first alert photoelectric smoke detector, the SA720, and that is actually right there, that I was able to get the piezoelectric element out of that one and put it in this one, and now it works perfectly fine, good as new. The only complaint I have about that is I'm kind of altering the alarm's natural pitch, because it might, I don't know what the original pitch was, and I don't know if the pitch is any different, but at least it's working, and that's all I'm happy about. And surprisingly, the sensor still works. I mean, it might not sense smoke anymore, but it's not falsing. I did not have to dust it out. I did not have to do anything. I did clean it a little bit, but I didn't have to like vacuum it out or anything, but surprisingly it does not false. And then down there's the test button, jumper, and the tab right there, and then right there you can see the 3 holes where there should be an LED. However, there is not, and it doesn't even say LED on the PCB, so, or does it? Nope, that's the label for the jumper, for the test button. So this one, of course, doesn't have the date stamp on it. I don't think any of these first generation ones did. Anyway, so they switched to this design in 1993, and then Family Guard took after this design, and they made their own cover and it looked like this, and these are so popular. I mean, I see these everywhere. They're so common, and I think they still make a version of it today. That's the exact same one. This one's my 83R. This one is the one I think that was, yeah, this is the one that was painted. So, now I'll go ahead and test it for you. I like that it immediately shuts off after you release the test button. And it does that classic 4-6 that these most commonly did, though some later versions of these also did a code 3. Those are pretty rare, though. So that's the SA67D, first generation cover. And now moving on, we have the BRK 86RAC. This was also known as the First Alert SA86RAC, and it does have a low battery in it. You probably heard it chirping in the first segment. Now you may notice it looks very, very similar to my 1839 ACI, though there are a few differences. First of all, this one has the electromechanical horn, and this one has the piezo horn. This one's got a battery backup, as you can see. The battery drawer is on the side, like some most modern First Alerts. This one does not have a battery backup. It's straight 120 volt powered, which explains the AC squealer horn. The orientation is also pretty different. If you notice, the way that the vents are set up, it's like a semicircle. Half of it has no vents. Half of it is closed, the other half is open. Well, on the 1839, here the test button is right on the border between unopened and open. But on the 86RAC, you notice the test button is way out here in the middle, next to this bar. Now, this is the later version of the 86RAC. The earlier version was oriented even a little bit different, a little more differently. The test button was oriented a little to the left, I think. No, to the right. That's the right, yeah. And the test, basically this bar passed right through the center. The sides were also smooth, whereas this one, the sides are textured. And the mounting bracket was different. This one uses the old style mounting bracket. The old style of this would have used this bracket. This new style uses a different one, which I did not get. But it attaches on the outside. This one attaches on the inside of the base. The wiring style is also pretty different. This one has this nice push-in wiring. I don't know what it's called. I call it the quick connect wiring. This one uses a simple wiring harness, and I did not get the wiring harness with it, but I found out that the one that goes to my Honeywell TC49A fits perfectly fine. So I don't know. It has the red LED right there in the underneath the test button, and it's flashing very fast, as you can see. This one also came from an abandoned house. And when you put the battery in it, there's something wrong with the circuit board, I think. It doesn't sound at full volume. The horn doesn't sound at full volume. It's pretty soft compared to the one I just showed you, this one. And it's also, if you have just a battery in it, it'll false. Like, the horn will not stop going off, and it'll be really high-pitched, like much higher than it's supposed to be. I think the piezoelectric element in the horn is pretty damaged, though I don't think it's as damaged as the other one that was originally in this one. But it is, like, in pretty rough condition. I did open up the cover. It comes off with the 3 tabs on the underside, similar to this one, you know, the 3 tabs. Well, this one actually has 4 tabs, but it's, you know, the same idea. Actually didn't even notice that. Contains americium-241, 1 microcurie. It has interconnect, which I'm not using, obviously. I don't know if you. I wonder if you can interconnect an 86RAC to an 1839 ACI. I don't know. For the longest time, I actually thought this was an 1830 or an 86RAC, but I didn't know at the time that it was completely different. There was also a version of this with the test button in the middle. That was the 1839N or 1839WN. And then the Family Guard version, which had that same cover with the test button in the middle, which was the FG 1839N. I don't know if there was an FG 1839WN. I'm going to guess there wasn't. Anyways, let's go ahead and give it a test. And the light goes out when you push the test button, similar to this one. The light also goes out on this one, so we'll test it. Takes a while for it to go on. See what I mean about it struggling to make a sound. It also takes a while to shut off. Yeah. So there's something wrong with the horn. I think it's, yeah, you heard it. It's not loud at all compared to this one. I mean, this one is like, that one's a normal volume. This one is very quiet. So I don't know. One more test. Notice the light went out and it came back on when I released the button. So I guess that's it. That is the BRK 86RAC and the First Alert First Generation SA67D. Thank you for watching.